You're watching K34QB, Vail, Colorado.
Good morning. It's Friday, October 25th, and it's also World Pasta Day. If you haven't made your own pasta, get out there, learn a good recipe. But Kim's going to take us in the kitchen and show us one of her favorites. Today, we're going to talk to the author of The Empathy Dilemma, Maria Ross, to learn a little bit more about leadership and empathy. Talk to Ali Teague from The Bookworm on everything happening at the Vail's best bookstore, and Tegan Davis from the Eagle Valley Library District will be in the studio today to talk about everything happening with the library district. All of that and the local weather coming up right now.
Get up, get ready to start your day. The mountains are calling you out to play. Come on, we'll make you feel right at home. Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. A lot of great things happening out there with that local weather. Today getting up 33 degrees, a high today of 61. Winds are going to pick up just a little bit, 10 to 20 miles an hour. So we're going to see that wind kind of pick up just a little bit. Typically means we might see some precipitation or a storm front kind of moving our way. As we look at Vail by the hour, probably those warmer temperatures are going to be right there around that 3 o'clock time to get us up to that 61 degrees. Again, a lot of cooler temperatures out there through the past couple days, but a lot of great weather coming our way to get out there and enjoy some of those last minute hikes and bikes. And with that wind, I think those aspen leaves are going to continue to fall down. I-70 corridor, 67 in Denver, 61 in Vail, 63 in Avon, and 66 all the way over in Eagle. All sunshine there. Tonight's going to chill down to 36 degrees, mostly clear skies at sun setting at about 6:13 p.m. Looking at the 5-day, got a lot of excitement coming up. Obviously, today is going to be a beautiful sunny day, but partly cloudy coming in on Saturday and Sunday. So we're going to see the lows kind of dip down in those 35, 40 degree. Those clouds continue to roll in Monday with some precipitation on Tuesday and Wednesday in the form of rain and snow showers in those higher elevations. And look at those lows dipping down below the 30s. So if you haven't blown out your sprinkler heads and done everything you need to do to winterize that house, you better get on it because the snow is coming our way. Now, our friends over at Rugs Benedict do a lot of things with flooring, but we're going to take a look at some things they're doing now for your walls.
Welcome into Rugs Benedict. We are here with Mandy Benedict. How are we doing, Mandy?
Fantastic. Great to see you.
So today, would you like to talk about some wood?
Yes, we have wood for flooring, obviously, but just adding some additional elements of wood on your walls, on the ceiling. We really like to be fashion forward and create some really unique looks for people here in the Vail Valley.
So speaking of unique looks, not just for the floor, but right behind us we have a wood wall. Can you tell us a little bit about the walling?
Yeah, so this is actually natural walnut, and they do it in a lot of different colors, but you can get just great texture and interest, and we use it behind master bedroom walls. We do it in living rooms, entryways. We use it commercially and residentially. Any place that you want to create some interest, it's like a piece of art.
Love that. It really is. What is a benefit of doing this?
One of the biggest benefits is just that it's fantastically beautiful, adds another design element, and you can do contrasting floors to walls, or you can have things that kind of flow the same color through, but it's just a beautiful natural look for our mountain environment. And you can also create some really contemporary, beautiful looks as well.
Awesome. And obviously here at Rugs Benedict, beautiful and lasting. It's a good product. Can you talk just about how it lasts and how this will help people coming up in the winter?
Yeah. One of the probably best things about these products is, or one of the most important things is how they're installed. And we've done quite a few huge commercial projects, and our installers are just master craftsmen. They are really good at doing an excellent job putting everything together and making sure that the finished product is fantastic and lasts as long as your walls do.
Amazing. Mandy, what else do people need to know about wood walls?
I would just say the variety of things that we have. I'll pull a couple of these smaller samples up. You can get things in gold if you want to do, more of a contemporary look. We have walnuts. There are silvers. I'll just grab a few more of these silver options, and you can see these are all different textures, but each texture comes in a variety of different colors, patterns, and we can do borders. We do a lot of really very interesting things with the wall covering. We can do herringbone. This is another natural look. So these are the same pattern, but very different in the different woods. So the wall behind us is the natural walnut like this, or you can put some color into it.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Mandy. Come on into Rugs Benedict in Avon. So much more than rugs, so much more than flooring, and check out Mandy and her team. They have something for everyone. Thanks, Mandy.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. Bye.
Thank you.
Good morning, Vail.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Presents Nashville Roadhouse Live, where country meets rock and roll.
It's where I drank my first beer, where I found Jesus, where I wrecked my first car, I tore it all to pieces. Join us every week for more live performances right here on Nashville Roadhouse Live.
I'm Jason Kennedy, and this is The Wager. Let's go, Wes! We've all heard about this pickleball craze. Celebrities are playing pickleball matches all the time, and they're challenging each other to these ridiculous bets. Now I'm bringing the cameras to their house with new celebrities and a new bet every week.
Hell of a rally there.
It's just real, genuine conversation.
I got invited to Usher's birthday party. What am I doing here?
And some pretty crazy antics.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. We mentioned it was World Pasta Day. Kim is going to take us inside the kitchen right now and show us her favorite one-dish pasta.
You know, normally I'm standing here in the kitchen with a co-host, but no one is here today because we are making the most simple recipe, and I don't need anybody to help me with this one. So I'm making a bakeable pasta dish where everything cooks in the dish in the oven, so we don't have to have a separate pot for the pasta, and then we don't have to do the separate layering, which is really great. I know we always talk about like ways to make things simple, especially during the week. Now this is a spaghetti version of lasagna is how I like to look at it. So very simple. We've got great ingredients. We've got pasta, cherry tomatoes, and then cottage cheese. So you're probably always looking for something that has a little bit more protein in it if you're anything like me. You know, I try to add protein into everything that I do, especially while I'm cooking at home. So cottage cheese is really great for that, but it also gives a little bit of that creamy texture that you typically like when you are making a pasta dish. And then we've got spinach, salt and pepper, olive oil. So easy as pie, well, easy as pasta, as I'd like to call it. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I've got baby spinach, so we just wanna make a bed of baby spinach. So, you know, you can pull this open. It's always fun to open things on air. You never know if it's gonna open right away or not. But we've got just pasta, and all you're gonna do is layer this, even easier than making a lasagna. You know, when you're making a lasagna, you have to go layer by layer and make sure that everything is mixed appropriately. So we have our spinach here. This is freshly washed spinach. So we're just gonna layer it into the dish and make a nice bed of spinach. And my opinion, you can never have too much spinach because it really cooks and wilts down so much when you are making it. You know, you can have half a bag of spinach and it only gives you about a little tiny handful. So we're gonna go ahead and just make this a really great layer here. Because spinach is filled with so many incredible vitamins. It's so good for you. It never hurts to have too much spinach here. And it's just pretty. It gives a really pretty color. So we've got our bed of spinach rolling here. And then, as always, you can put whatever spices that you want to. We're going to keep it simple today with just salt and pepper, but you can add garlic. You can put whole garlic cloves into this if you wanted to. You can do garlic powder, you know, Italian seasoning, parsley, whatever it is. So the next part, we're adding our spaghetti. So it really doesn't matter if it's broken or not because you're just going to eat it and cut it anyways. So if your spaghetti's broken, it's okay. You just kind of layer it in here. And we've got about 2 pounds of spaghetti here. Now you can do exact measurements on this recipe, but for me, during the week, you know, if I'm in a hurry, I just want something where I can throw it together, and that's exactly what this recipe is. So we've got our pasta here. I don't want to break it. Not yet, at least. It looks too pretty in its whole form. So we've got this pasta here, and we're just going to layer it on top, just like that. There we go. It's looking great. You know, we try all kinds of fun, delicious things for breakfast here on the show, and today it's gonna be pasta. So layering all that pasta in there, and it's okay if it's, you know, kind of filling up to the top. The spinach will wilt down. The pasta, depending on how much pasta you want to make. I think this looks good to me. You know, I just want to kind of cover it on the top. Maybe we'll put a little bit more in there, depending on how many people we're serving here on the show today. I know the guys behind the camera, they are the people that keep this ship rolling, or sailing, I guess you could say. They always have opinions on the recipes we do afterwards, so it's lots of fun. You know, it's always fun when I get my director, Nick, when he says he likes the recipe, you know that I've done well for the day. So we're gonna add our cherry tomatoes into this pasta dish as well. And you can put as much or as little as you like. You know, I'm not a huge tomato person, but I do like it when it's cooked into, when they cook down and they wilt down into the, it's always fun to take them out of this container when they wilt down into the mix, and we'll stir everything together once it's baked. So that's gonna make it a really delicious and flavorful recipe. So we've got these tomatoes here. I'm just gonna go ahead and put them all in because why not, right? You know, tomatoes add a little bit of acidity to the dish. We'll be adding the cottage cheese, which makes it very creamy. So we're adding all of this here. So our tomatoes are gonna get spread into this, and once it all bakes together, we'll just kind of stir it together. Now we've got our olive oil, but first we want to add cottage cheese. Now this one, you can do it if you were to measure it by grams, you'd probably do about 120 grams of cottage cheese, but again, if you don't want to be specific, you don't have to be specific, and you can just kind of put it on there. So we're going to do, I think I'm personally probably going to do about a half a cup of cottage cheese as well. So grabbing that half cup, here we go. We're just going to scoop it out and put it into just right on top. It's a little bit more than a half cup, but that's okay. We're just going to put it right on top there. And again, this is a recipe where you can measure it out as much or as little as you want to. The more cottage cheese that I put on here, the more creamy it's going to be. So I'm not opposed to it. You know, who doesn't like a nice, cheesy, creamy cottage cheese recipe? So always fun. I'm one of those cooks sometimes where I'm in the kitchen. Sometimes I clean up after myself as I go, and sometimes I'm just throwing it all in there. So we're gonna go ahead and clean up a little bit as we're getting this done. Now the next part is we've got some olive oil. So you can kind of drizzle this over the dish here, the Pyrex. So we'll just drizzle a little bit of olive oil. As you can see, I like olive oil. I love the flavor that it has. And you can't do too much in this. It adds a little bit of richness to the cottage cheese mix. It helps it blend together and just taste really delicious and just hearty, a little bit more velvety, because you've got that nice, rich olive oil taste, which to me signifies Italian cooking for sure. Now, we've got a little bit of pepper, so we're gonna go ahead and put some of that on here. Oh, sorry, a little bit of salt. There we go, and then the last piece we're gonna do, we're gonna pour some water in it, and this is what's going to make the pasta, the spinach, and everything kind of bake together. So this is the secret ingredient. We're just gonna pour it all over here, just like that. And as simple as this recipe is, I promise you, it's going to turn out quite delicious. So we've got all of the water poured into our baking dish. It doesn't look like much right now, I promise you, but wait till you pull this out. You will wow your guests and your friends and family if you are making this at home, because once it all bakes together, we're just gonna go ahead and, you know, just mix it all in. So we are done with it. You can season it as you'd like, either before or after. We're gonna pop it into the oven, and then you're just gonna let it bake for about 30 minutes, which is the most simple way to do things. So we're popping this in here. Our oven is set just like that. Great. Normally I have Kevin or one of the boys in the kitchen to put things in the oven for me, so that was a feat to do, but normally you'd bake it for about 30 minutes on 350 degrees. So our oven has been preheating. We're just gonna let it bake, let it simmer. It's gonna be delicious with the protein-packed cottage cheese, plus the noodles that are just in there dry, and then they'll just cook in that water that we just bathed it in. So all of that coming up, we'll show you at the end of the show what it's going to look like right after this quick break, but we've got a lot more in our show after this. Well, welcome back. We are here in the kitchen because I'm going to show you this incredible pasta dish. It smells so good. So we added some additional seasoning to it with some salt, a little bit of pepper, and some garlic powder, and I can smell the garlic. Oh my gosh, it smells like garlic bread, or I'm sitting in my Italian grandma's kitchen. So let me pull this out of the oven. We'll take a look at it. It's gonna be delicious. You can see that it is cooking. Now it looks pretty great here. Everything is melted together. Now it's a little bit al dente, and you can leave it in a little bit longer if you wanted to. We're just gonna go ahead and stir it all up and make it nice and together. We could probably cook it actually a little bit longer just to make sure that those tomatoes really melt in, but it looks great. You know, it smells great. We're gonna keep it going. We're just gonna let it cook a little bit longer, and you can just kind of check it there, but it looks really great. As we're started, we just need a few more minutes in the oven. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this right back in the oven because, man, my Italian grandma is gonna be proud of me here. It's a lot harder to do this oven situation when you don't have anybody in the kitchen to help you with it. But we're gonna pop it back in. What a great show it's been.
Good morning, Vail.
From small towns to big cities and everywhere in between, we're covering the great things that are happening right now in the USA. This is Positively America with Ernie and Astis.
Each week, we're going to focus on the great things that are happening every day in the USA. We'll feature change makers.
In every older person, there's a younger person saying, how did this happen?
innovators,
I talk about design the way some people might talk about like the person they're in love with.
doers and dreamers,
You can use that recognition to pay it forward.
ordinary Americans accomplishing extraordinary things.
When you smile, you receive one back most of the time.
We're going to prove to you that optimism and hope are paving the way to an even brighter tomorrow.
We've got a lot of programs that are specifically focused on the children of our fallen heroes.
At Positively America, our mission is to feature good news.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. As we look at business in perspectives and the way that different things change, there's a lot more empathy that is in the workplace now that the leaders need to take to make sure that they manage their employees appropriately and to retain them for the future. Well, I'm joined today with Maria Ross, who wrote The Empathy Dilemma. What a great book, Maria. What inspired you for this?
Well, this is my second empathy book, and the first one I wrote really made the business case for empathy, showing the ROI of how empathy in the workplace improves performance, innovation, retention, engagement, customer experience, all the things. This book is sort of a love letter to the leaders who are like, I get it, and I want to be an empathetic leader, but here's where I'm struggling. So this book is really about helping them balance empathy with performance, with accountability, and with their own mental health.
Yeah, it is a lot of balancing, and I think we've learned over the last 5 years that how important it is to make sure that in order to be 100% ourselves for our team or for our families, we have to take care of ourselves first. Now, where did you get the information and gather everything up for this book?
Well, I've been researching this for years, and luckily the data and the research is out there. It's just being able to curate it all. And also, I have a podcast that's been going for the last 4 years, interviewing hundreds of leaders, thought leaders, best-selling authors, and piecing together, kind of dissecting the recipe for what makes certain leaders both empathetic and extremely high-performing, because I truly believe it's a both-and leadership philosophy, not an either-or.
Well, let's take a quick step back and learn a little bit more about Maria Ross. How did your passion turn to writing these kind of books to help leaders and help organizations?
Yeah, I've started out with a successful career in brand strategy and marketing, running my own business, helping companies create stories and messaging that connects and engages with the right people. And way back in my career, I was a change management consultant, and I started to realize we can't just work on the exterior, what the market sees. We've really got to work on what's on the inside to be genuinely believable as an empathetic brand. And, personally, over the years, I have a young son, and raising him, I was getting really disheartened by not seeing good examples of empathetic leadership. And I knew that there had to be brands and leaders that were winning with empathy. So I started researching, and like I said, was delighted to find the data that proved that empathy is not just good for society, it's actually great for business.
Now, for some of our viewers that may be a little bit confused with the difference between sympathy and empathy, can you help shed the light on what is that separation?
For sure. And it is challenging because the definition of empathy has changed over time as well, as we've learned more about the brain and more about psychology. But if we understand that empathy is the ability to see, understand, and where appropriate, feel another person's perspective, and then use that information to act with compassion. So compassion is empathy in action. Now that I see your point of view and I understand where you're coming from and how you might be feeling or thinking, I can take a right next step with you. And so sympathy is more about something I feel I'm doing it to you, and usually in the lens of pity. empathy can be, I can be empathetic with you in moments of joy. I can be empathetic with you in moments of challenge. It's just where I'm sitting beside you. I'm not sort of looking down at you saying, like, wow, that really stinks that that's going on with you right now. But it's more about, let me understand your point of view so we can have a productive conversation moving forward.
I know for years in business, I've always looked at personality type indicators to look at each one of the people that I work with. And that way we learned to a little bit more about each other, how we're rewarded, how things work. This kind of takes it just a step further.
For sure. And you're hitting on the first pillar of the 5 pillars of empathetic leadership, which is self-awareness, both for yourself and within your team, because we have to understand how we show up in an interaction and what we're bringing to it, what energy we're bringing to it, what emotional triggers. Because if I am so stuck in my own stuff, if I don't have my own house in order, so to speak, I have no room for your perspective, especially if I don't agree with it. I'm going to meet it with defensiveness and fear. But if I can be present, if I kind of understand what sets me off, where my strengths are, what my weaknesses are, and I can show up fully present and grounded, then I'm better able to listen to your point of view and consider it and think about how it impacts me and also what is our next right step together.
Right. And then that second pillar is self-care. And obviously we talked a little bit about you can't really show up for other people when you yourself aren't 100%.
You cannot. And, you know, when I talk about self-care, you know, we're not talking about mani-pedis and massages. We're talking about what recharges you, right? We recharge our batteries in our phones every day. What is recharging you? Because if you don't, again, have that capacity to show up in an interaction where someone may have a different perspective from you, think about when you're tired and hungry. You are not your best self, right?
Right.
So you want to be able to show up fully charged. So what are the things that you can do for yourself that recharge your batteries, that give you a rest, that enable you to use different parts of your brain? And for some people, that could be really active, like mountain climbing or skiing. For other people, it could be something very passive and restful, like meditation or knitting or something like that. But if you don't have the self-awareness from the first pillar, you don't know what you need for self-care.
Right. And then there's clarity. And one of my favorite parts of your book, it says, clarity ensures we're all on the same page as to expectations and next steps. It removes guesswork and stress. In short, clarity is a form of kindness. I love that.
100%. And we know Brene Brown says that all the time, clarity is kind. But in the workplace, what that comes down to is if you're having a contentious situation or like a negative performance review with an employee, it could be because you're trying to hold them accountable to an expectation you never clearly set. So you can't really have a good understanding conversation with someone if you're on different pages. So clarity is about not making assumptions at work, especially with, we have 5 generations working in the workplace. We can't make assumptions about unsaid norms or, well, I just thought everyone understood what professionalism meant or what good communication means. We don't. We come from different life experiences from different generations. And so the more you can actually articulate and spell those things out in the workplace, the kinder and more empathetic it is to everyone, because now I understand what I'm being held accountable to.
Right, right. Well, Maria, I don't want to give too much away about the book. I know decisiveness and joy are those last 2 pillars, but what a wonderfully constructed book, a lot of thought, and obviously a lot you put into it as far as researching and getting some data. So if you're a leader, I definitely recommend getting out here. The Empathy Dilemma. Maria Ross, thank you so much for joining me this morning, and we look forward to hearing more and seeing some more books.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll be back with more Good Morning Vail.
Good morning, Vail.
This show looks at anything that has an engine and a story told by the owners. This is a scooter. Have you had it the whole time?
I have not. It's actually the 3rd time I've owned the car.
Sell, regret, sell, regret. To the actual prototype GT40, I got to sit in that car.
Oh, I got to get me one of these, man.
We've got all the muscle, the speed, and the stories.
I got stage 4 cancer. A bunch of friends came together and decided that this thing needed to get done then. A lot of friends came together and made this thing happen.
Hey, if it has an engine and a story, you're going to hear about it on rides. Almost every vehicle, doesn't matter what walk of life you're from, there's some tie to your past.
Learn the latest in science each week and how it relates to everyday life. From space exploration to plant biology to the latest in high-tech advances. Every new scientific development is explored and explained in an understandable way. Amazing stories each week. Watch Science Now.
Coming at you from around the world. The biggest names in sports, entertainment, and business.
Here we go.
Yeah, there's no way.
Exclusive access and one-on-one conversations.
Yeah, you guys really did some deep research.
I don't think we should give him any more information.
In depth with Graham Bensinger.
Hi there. Are you ready to explore famous neighborhoods from New York City to Kentucky? Watch The Neighborhood with host Nicole Newman. Featuring famous people, unique history, and delicious places to eat and drink. Our viewers get an inside personal look at each neighborhood. With each episode we learn, grow, laugh, and live like a local, not just a visitor. Welcome to The Neighborhood. Check your local program schedule and tune in.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. I tell you, if you've not been over to the Bookworm in Edwards, you've got to get over there. What a great bookstore, just about everything you need, plus a little coffee and tea counter. It's located just down from Kind Bikes once you enter over there at the Riverwalk. But one of the staple people over there, Allie Teague, is in charge of programming and events and activities. Always got a great schedule. What's coming up?
Yeah, so we have tomorrow, I'm really excited.
Okay.
Always the Saturday before Halloween, we do a spooky story time for the kiddos. And we encourage costumes. I will be in costume.
You should wear your costume. It's a little kind of get it together kind of thing.
And Riverwalk does Trick or Treat Street this Saturday as well. So kids, if they show up in costume, they can trick or treat to all the businesses and we'll have candy. And after story time, which we're doing with Bravo Vail, we love partnering with other organizations.
Right.
And it'll be bilingual, which is going to be really fun, English and Spanish. And some Haciendo Musica students are going to come by and play some music for the kids as well, which is going to be a blast.
Cool event.
We did it last year and it was awesome. And then after that super fun story time, kids can head down to the Riverwalk backyard, which is usually where they play music in the concert series during the summer. And there's a pumpkin patch put on by like the Village Market and I think Alpine Art Center, because you can pick out a pumpkin and go to Alpine Art Center, which is close to us, and go carve it. It's like a whole day.
You've got pumpkins, you've got music, you've got costumes, you got candy, you got spooky story time, bilingual. There is no more.
There's so much going on tomorrow. It's going to be awesome.
Wow, crazy.
It's so much fun. It's besides our story time we do with Santa in December, so keep an eye on that too.
Okay.
This is our biggest story time of the year. We love it. There's always like 50 kids dressed up in all their firefighter and lion costumes.
Yeah.
And it's too cute.
I can't wait. Yeah, it's if you want to just go down and watch, it's just a great spectator event.
It's going to be awesome. And to see those students that have been working so hard on their music pieces. They've been working on them for a while now. So yeah, that's at 10 a.m.
Okay.
At the Bookworm. It's going to be in the kids section. We kind of clear some stuff away. And like you said, we have coffee for the grown-ups, smoothies for the littles. They love the smoothies.
Yeah.
Crepes as well. So if you need breakfast, you can
Crepes,
have that way
perfect.
too. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I was going to touch on the fact that once you enter the bookworm, they've got the whole kids section. And if you're into journaling, if you're into certain things, they've got beautiful journal books.
We just got a new shipment in 2 days ago too.
Wonderful.
The really fancy ones with the shiny covers and stuff.
Everybody's got to have one of those. Because we're getting ready to go into a new year, hence a new journal book.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. And it's amazing. We're sitting here talking about time and where we're at. And it's like, yeah, the year is kind of coming to a close. We see our first snowfall come in, and the leaves are all falling down. So taking us into that next season. Now, speaking of the next season, is there anything you want to share with us and kind of give us a glimpse into the future on maybe some book signings or anything else coming up, or do we need to keep that undercover for now?
Undercover. We don't have any big author events scheduled for the end of the year just because we're so busy in the store.
Yep.
We have some really exciting stuff coming up in January, so keep an eye on our website. But in November, we have a couple book clubs. And in December, I just finalized it. We're going to have our Read with Pride book club on the 18th. And we're going to do cookie decorating while we discuss the book. So it's going to be pretty fun.
Oh, that'll be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Just a fun, like, hands-on activity. Something like just a way to gather with each other during the holiday season.
Yeah. What a good time.
Yeah.
And especially those that may not be able to get home because we work in the hospitality industry. Get in with our family at the bookworm and kind of talk about some books, decorate some cookies.
Some cookies.
Eat a few cookies.
We have
my favorite part.
Another fun, like, kind of community group that we're bringing together is we're having a midnight release party in January. I think it's January 20th. It's for the release of the new Fourth Wing book by Rebecca Yarros. Very popular with the young kids. It's like this fantasy romance style book with dragons. And the third one's coming out. We're getting some of the special edition. And you can come get it the midnight before it releases. We're going to do like friendship bracelets and trivia activities, and we'll have cookies and hot apple cider. And then you can buy it midnight the day it goes for sale and be one of the first people to have it.
Wow.
It's going to be fun.
All right. What's your website?
It's bookwormofedwards.com.
Bookwormofedwards.com, where you have all your events, everything going on. That's great. Get in there for that new release. That'd be a good opportunity.
It's really fun. We did it for a couple other titles, and it was a blast to get like the super fans all together. We had someone show up in costume last time.
I was getting ready to ask, is this a costume event or is
Definitely.
it optional? Okay.
Costumes are always encouraged.
Okay. Perfect. Dress up as your favorite character. All right.
Awesome.
Well, it's always a pleasure to
Thank
have
you.
you on the show, kind of talking about everything going on, because again, it is the best bookstore in the Vail Valley, and right there in Edwards has just about everything you need. And you walk in, and I love the smell of a bookstore. And when you've got the coffee and the tea and the crepes going on, it's just mesmerizing.
It's a very warm place to be, I think. We strive for that.
What time's our event start tomorrow?
The event is at 10 a.m.
10 a.m.?
Yeah, should be about an hour. Depends on how long the attention spans are for the kids. We're very flexible on that.
You know, typically if there's candy involved, you can stretch that attention span just a little bit, get them all sugared up.
Exactly.
All right, we got pumpkins, we got costumes, we got story time, we've got all the elements of a wonderful event tomorrow, 10 a.m. Be at the Bookworm. Going to be a great time. Thank you for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be back soon with more Good Morning Vail.
Good morning, Vail.
Take the first game every one of us played in the schoolyard. Turn up the degree of difficulty to maximum, and then let loose some of the fastest and most agile athletes in the world to go one-on-one in what you have is the most extreme pursuit contest you've ever known. It's intense, it's addictive, and there's only one rule. Don't get caught.
Oh my gosh. If you haven't seen work chase tag before, here's how it works.
2 teams of up to 6 athletes compete in a series of one-on-one chases. Each chase lasts up to 20 seconds and has 1 chaser and 1 evader.
Opportunity to points on the board! Oh!
Whoever wins the duel stays on as the evader, and teams get 1 point for each evasion they make.
And it looks like the opening point for this contest.
16 chases to win the match, with a sudden death chase-off required to break any ties. It's win or go home from now on. Don't miss it.
Experience the beauty of fall on the rails of the Leadville Railroad. Take in the cool mountain breeze as you climb to 11,000 feet to watch the vibrant reds, oranges, and golds of fall come alive. Enjoy delicious hot beverages, learn some history, and relax with family and friends. Create fall memories in the heart of the Rocky Mountains. Offering daily trips, the weekend specials sell out fast. To secure your seat, book today at leadvillerailroad.com.
For fun and adventure, join me on Elizabeth Stanton's Great Big World. Find out where I'll be going next and which celebrities I'll be bringing along with me. I'll show you amazing destinations with lots to explore, and you'll get to know my celebrity guests the way they really are, up close and personal. We'll travel the world, experience new cultures, and together, try to make a difference. I'm Elizabeth Stanton, saying the world's a big place, and I'm going to show it to you.
Coming up this season on Ready, Set, Renovate, we see one couple fall in love with a waterfront fixer-upper.
It sort of wrapped its arms around us and said, you want me, and we did.
And watch as another battles over the budget.
We're trying to look through and see where we can trim at this point.
Are you looking to trim it, Ginger?
No.
No.
Construction pros show us the right way to renovate.
Well, we had to do a roof over. We had to hand build a lot of the trusses.
As we're putting the thin set down, the self-leveler has a little clip that clips up underneath the edge of the tile.
Good morning, Vail.
Oh, here we go.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. I'm just sitting here chatting it up. I've got Tegan Davis sitting next to me on the couch talking about everything at the Eagle Valley Library District. A lot of great things going on. And obviously, Tegan, when you're running a business, and you are there at the library, you always want to get better. And the way to get better is to kind of go to your stakeholders, your customer base, and find out how can we possibly get better, even though you're already doing amazing.
Well, thank you.
So what did you do to kind of get feedback in order to raise the bar?
Yeah, so we do surveys, of course, and we always want that feedback because we want to improve. That's why if you don't find anything on the shelf that you're interested in, let us know, because we want to make sure that what we have on our shelves is something of interest, or that we can get it to you in a timely manner. And as we are planning for our programs for the future, we are always inviting key stakeholders in for conversations. We're participating in community conversations so that we can hear feedback on that level. And then we just did a survey over the summer, again asking about our services, and we had over 553 people respond, which is really exciting. And we had a 96% satisfaction rate, which was also exciting. But we're looking for all the ways that we can improve.
Right, and that was one of my questions I was going to have for you today is, who makes the decision on what books come in and how that whole process works?
It is a process. So we do have a policy behind collection development. So it's not just we just pick it out of the ether. There's a whole policy behind what we get on our shelves. A lot of that is dictated behind the publishing industry, so what they are publishing. So there's Big Five publishing industry, and then we have the indie publishers, and then we have our review journals, because there's no way I can read all the books that are published in a year, let alone pick what is of interest to you versus what is of interest of me. And we're trying to serve a whole community, so there's a variety of interests out there. So we look at what checks out, we look at what the publishers, because they know the market, they know what people are interested in. And so we go based off New York Times sellers, what the reviewers are saying are the best, and then of course your guys' input and feedback.
Right. I've always wondered, for a library, is there like a staple core list of books that you kind of have to have?
I would say, when we look at like the classics or anything more the academic literature, more to the kids, making sure that we have the nonfiction that they need for their school studies, I would say is kind of core. But other than that, it is really based upon trends. What's popular, what is resonating in our community, because there's going to be some books that are going to hit home here where they're not going to hit in New York. And so making sure that, and our librarians are so good at it because they really are involved in the community and invested. So they're picking up things. They're like, oh, okay, we know at least 10 readers are going to want this book. So when they're reading the review journals, and we do like to choose books that have been reviewed and vetted, and plus sometimes it's harder for us to get self-published books, especially from Amazon, because Amazon doesn't like to share with libraries. And so there's some other nuances about how libraries can purchase, if they let us purchase a book is another one, especially e-content. Sometimes we're shut out of that market. And so we're just trying to put all the feelers out there, and then that's why we want feedback from our patrons to be like, hey, I would like this book, or can you get me this book? Because sometimes we can't buy it, we can get it from another library, and other times we're like, oh yeah, we'll totally get this for the collection.
All right, let's go deeper on that, because you and I had a conversation on that before. That massive network that you have to use. If someone needs a book and you'll have how many different places you can go?
Oh, everywhere, the world.
Yeah, all over the world. That's incredible.
Yep, so when you're on our evld.org, our website, and you go in and you're looking up, like, I don't know, a cat, and you're looking at cat books, but it's not the cat book because you want to look up Siamese cats. I have no idea. I'm making this up right now. And so that catalog is all of Western Colorado. So all those libraries that are presenting their books and being like, hey, you can put a hold on it, you can lend it, that's Western Colorado. Then we have a system where we work with Eastern Colorado, including big universities. So if you're a student and you're looking for a textbook, that's a way to go as well. And that also includes Wyoming. Then we start going to like the Western states. And then we'll just keep going and going. We've had items from Library of Congress come our way because the patron needed that for research. And we've asked out of country. So to get that item for your viewing pleasure. So whatever you want access to, we will do our darndest to say yes and try to get it to you. And we've even found where we couldn't get the physical book, but we could find the e-copy, and it just happened to be free. So sometimes e-copies are a little harder because libraries can't share e-copies because of licensing, but sometimes there's free options for e-copies. So we will be our librarian selves and go down a research hole and try to get you the item that you need.
Okay. So now back to your open house real quick. So what do people expect with your, when is your open house?
Okay, yep.
And then what are people going to expect to get?
Okay, so our open house, so again, we're talking about the future and our services and what we're going to be for our community as we progress into the years. And so our open house is this Thursday, Thursday, October 29th. Okay. We're going to be in Eagle and we're going to be in Avon, and we're talking about the entire district. So Gypsum, Eagle, and Avon. So we're looking at our facilities and what we can do based upon the population as we grow. And so Eagle is from 3 to 4:30, and then Avon is from 5:30 to 7. And so what people can do, so we've been soliciting feedback since the summer for our facility master plan. We've met with key stakeholders, we've did the survey over the summer, and now it's an opportunity for the public to come in and see the ideas, see our buildings, see the possibilities of how we can program out some spaces and what the future may bring, and again, solicit some more input.
What a great opportunity.
Tell us what you want.
We appreciate everything you're doing. And that's, who doesn't like that? Tell us what you want, what you need, and we're going to work on getting it for you.
Yeah, we're going to do our best.
All right. Well, Tegan, thank you so much for joining us this morning. So get out there. If you haven't been out to one of the local libraries, you got to get out there. They do such a wonderful job, not just in the book selection they have, but different activities for all the kids, the different story times, also music abilities to get music online too as well. So get out there, enjoy the library, and if there's something you need, something you want, get out there, tell Tegan what it is, and they'll work hard at making sure you have it. We'll be back with more Good Morning Vail.
Good Morning Vail.
One of the longest-running syndicated television series is back. America's Black Forum, a weekly series highlighting the latest in our lifestyles, business, entertainment, and finance. We introduce you to entrepreneurs who are making their mark in the business world and leaders who are fighting for change.
Welcome to America's Black Forum.
Tune in each week to know what's happening in our world today on America's Black Forum.
I'm Amy Goodman, host of Democracy Now! Our independent news hour offers diverse perspectives and unique opinions, often unheard in the mainstream media, live as the news unfolds. Tune in for Democracy Now!, the War and Peace Report, weekday mornings at 9 and evenings at 6 on TV8 Vail, Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on Channel 92.
Welcome to Nantucket Rope Bracelets. All of our stylish bracelets are handmade in our Nantucket workshop, using only the best non-shrinking line with soft, flexible finish. Find us at nantucketropebracelets.com and order your beautiful piece from Nantucket today.
I'm Danella Richard. I've made a career traveling the world. I've worked for some of the biggest names in travel, and now I've traded in my business suit for a swimsuit. Swimming with the sharks, swinging at the edge of the world, throwing back a few shots, or shall I say spirits. Eating some of the best cuisine, and even making a few furry friends along the way. I invite you to come along with me and discover the world.
Join us in exploring the everyday lives of community members here in the Vail Valley. Hear their inspiring stories of how they came here, their contributions to our community, and why they chose to call this place home. We want you to be one of our neighbors. If you would like to be featured or nominate someone to be featured, please send an email to danielle@tv8vail.com. We look forward to featuring your story right here on TV8.
Hey, it's your boy, Nephew Tommy, your host for an all-new season of Black College Quiz, where the nation's best and brightest display their knowledge of Black history and culture while competing for prizes and scholarships. So get ready to see HBCU Nation take the academic field. Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Yeah, man.
Good morning, Vail.
Come on.
Vail fashionista and perch stylist Tamar Giorgazzi has been helping women express their personalities through fashion for years. And with a new boutique in town called Elliston, opened up by the same owners as Perch, Tamar is back to show us 3 must-have essentials as we move into warmer weather. First up, the chic pajama look. This matching set by Totem is not for sleeping. In fact, with the right styling, it can be worn just about anywhere.
Don't be afraid to bring this outfit in any big event, starting from weddings, starting from dinners, starting from, I don't know, business meeting. Throw the jacket over, blazer over, do the shoe, maybe instead of cream, I would do the black shoe and do like a black blazer and crossbody bag. We carry in Elliston, Stella McCarthy.
Next up, an elegant, versatile dress.
It is insanely impossible to make any woman don't look good at it. If you would like to bring a color in your closet and be trendy with a bold, cool dress in your closet, bring fun colored dress, which never disappoints you, good shape, good sculpture, good silhouette.
And lastly, an outfit featuring elevated basics.
Like this outfit is great outfit itself. I have a Marni leather jacket and Marni white shirt, high-low. It's amazing shirt. It's not button down. It's just a cut on the middle. And features a little bit of differentiality considering that everybody already has button down. Again, have something different, show something different, and makes you look good.
There's so much to choose from at both Perch and Elliston, and the owner describes the difference between the two.
Elliston is more elevated. I've had customers say that, sort of the mom and the grandmom shop at Elliston, the daughter shop at Perch. Perch was really inspired by a more contemporary line of brands that tend to show a lot of prints, that tend to show a lot of patterns, that are more youthful designs.
She also explains to us the meaning of a certain understated style.
There is a concept called quiet luxury that's been sort of a trend for the past year, I would say, sort of started by some of the luxury designers like Brunello Cucinelli, where they really don't sell any prints. It's camels, it's grays, it's navies and blacks and ivories, and that's sort of what inspired Elliston. This store was really rooted in that whole concept of quiet luxury, beautiful fabrics, design that is based in craftsmanship. That whole color scheme has really struck a chord with customers because they love, just consider putting an ivory sweater on with an ivory pair of pants and some nude shoes. Like, you look like $1 million when you walk out of your house.
No matter what your aesthetic is, Tamar can help you put your entire look together. As some of you may remember, she even helped me step up my style not too long ago.
Tamar is really talented at what she does. I can't do what she does because she is so good at looking at a woman's body and pulling items that will make them look and feel like they're walking on water. Honestly, people love her because she is so passionate about what she does, and she's extremely talented about styling women from head to toe.
Tamar says no matter what your budget is, she's here to help you look and feel your best. For TV 8 in Vail, I'm Avisha Scarborough.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. Let's take a look outside at that local weather. 33 degrees getting up today at 8 a.m. A high today of 61. Winds are going to pick up out of the west-southwest pretty steadily there, 10 to 20 miles an hour. So a bit breezy out there to blow the rest of those leaves off those aspen trees. Going to warm up around that 3 o'clock hour as we work through Vail by the hour. That sunshine coming out in full force. So it should be a beautiful day today out there. I-70 corridor, a lot happening there with full sunshine from Denver all the way to Eagle. 67 in Denver, 61 in Vail, 63 in Avon, and 66 in Eagle. Looking at tonight, 36 is going to be the low. Nice clear evening if you want to get out there and stargaze a little bit before it gets too cold to go outside. Looking at this 5-day, tomorrow is going to be absolutely beautiful. A little bit of a repeat of today, 63 degrees and sunny. And then get ready as the clouds roll in on Sunday. Temperatures start to go down on Monday with some precipitation coming in on Tuesday and Wednesday. Winter is here, so get ready. Make sure you got your snow tires on and winterize your house. It's been a great show today, National World Pasta Day, actually. So get out there and enjoy some good pasta. And don't forget about all the events going around from the Bookworm all the way over into the Eagle Valley Library District. Lots of things happening and coming your way. So get out there and enjoy some of that last minute sunshine. If you want to get out and hike and bike, going to be beautiful weather over the next few days. But again, like I said, prepare for that storm coming in. We're going to see that snowfall later on next week on Tuesday and Wednesday. So can't say it enough. Snow tires, winterize your yard, and just get ready. It's on the way. Thank you for joining us today on Good Morning Vail. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
You know TV8 Vail has great local content, but did you